So other things that happened this week include, and I talked about this last week, the IRS issue. We had been pushing for the release of deposition transcripts in a civil lawsuit that others had pursued over the IRS abuse scandal under President Obama. And deposed in that litigation was Lois Lerner, who's infamously known as being associated with that scandal, and Holly Paz, who also should be known for being associated with that scandal, but it's a name you probably don't recognize, but two senior IRS officials. And they're taking the position that the transcripts from that case, which I believe is over, should never be made public. So they were questioned closely about this scandal, and they took the fifth in front of Congress, so it'd be interesting to see what they said under oath here. So they object to that document being released, or those documents being released. So we filed an amicus brief on our behalf to try to get access to this information, because Judicial Watch has been in the center, as I described last week, of getting information about this IRS scandal that Congress couldn't get, and exposing pretty much of what we know about the IRS scandal. And I encourage you to read our book, frankly, Clean House. It was published a few years ago, but it's a good summary of much of what we have about the IRS scandal. So anyway, we filed the amicus brief. They opposed, Lois Lerner and Holly Paz opposed us filing it. Thankfully, the court granted our ability to file it, and he held a hearing on Thursday. Our own attorney, Judicial Watch attorney Ramona Kotka, flew out to Ohio to attend and argue at the hearing, so we were represented in court yesterday, and my understanding is the court let everyone have their say, asked a few questions, and I guess is going to decide when he decides. So I don't know what the decision is going to be, but again, I raise it to let you know that Judicial Watch, we're not talking heads. We're in court, pushing for disclosures, taking on government misconduct in ways that Congress can only dream of doing. And certainly the media is zero interest in doing as well. So I'll let you know what happens there when it happens. But in the meantime, there's still more to be had, information to be had about that IRS scandal, that's for sure.